How many 6-star shards is it possible to grind out in a very short space of time? What am I talking about? Why should you care? Well, you should care because if you like Quicksilver and Gallon, aka Galactus, you want to be getting some of these champions, one of these. And we've got a feature that's coming very, very soon. So it's very exciting times. The biggest question is, like, when is this particular crystal coming? This 6-star featured? Well, thanks to Dan, Frontline MCOC, we can get that particular info. Do bear in mind there will be a 5-star that will follow swiftly after, but let's face it, the most important one, the one we care about the most, is going to be this one here, which is the 1st of November to February 7th one, 6-star featured pool, which is going to feature Wiccan, Gore, Valkyrie, Gallon, I need to say Galactus, but it's Gallon, Galactus, whatever, Quicksilver, and whatever champion is going to be the first champion in September. This crystal here is going to be a very, very interesting one. With popularity of Valkyrie, some popularity with Gore, but I want to say Valkyrie is more popular. Wiccan is a really decent champion, and I'm sure the September 1st champion is going to be a banger as well. But let's face it, these two champions here, people are going to be wanting to save their shards. So the point of recording this video, I have 50,000 6-star shards in my possession, and I've got to make sure that I do not spend them. I've also got other crystals to open as well, so chances are that that will go up. But what I wanted to do was get an idea from myself personally, like if I don't do arena, which let's face it, like at the end of the day you can pick up a good amount of 6-star shards from doing arena, but it's always down to a personal preference whether or not anybody's interested in going to get a certain threshold. So it's going to sort of factor into our sums, but I want to make it more focused on like non-arena grind standpoints, because look, it's down to a player perspective. If you're willing to front up something in the region of 15 mil in the basic arena, and in the featured arena anything upwards about 25 to 30 mil, it does vary what you're going to take home. So I could say if you put in 15 mil into the basic and 25 mil, you could be receiving 2,000 to 3,000 6-star shards a week. But again, that's down to a personal preference. I will put it into an extra kind of like thing at the end. But let's get down to business. And our particular business starts off here right now in August and takes us into the end of October or November. So first of all, by doing some of the event quests, or Uncollected and Cavalier combination together, you'll know that you will receive up to 14,800 6-star shards. That's the first thing on a monthly basis that'll be added into your collection. Right, side quests are very difficult things to predict when it comes to the extent of rewards. This month, if you followed some of my videos and content, you'll know that it's possible to get upwards of 21,000 6-star shards, especially if you are Cavalier. Now do bear in mind, and that's something I really have to stress, is that this is not going to be the same month in, month out. Because we can say, oh yeah, you definitely get 21,000. That's possible, isn't it, Rich? Yeah, the same thing like it is here. But then like the next month, you could only have like 6k 6-star shards. So it's not always going to be correct. So when I'm putting together like sums and info, it's going to be a case that's going to reflect that from that particular standpoint. What else is available for you to grind out? Well, incursions. Funny enough, whilst I'm recording this video, I'm just about to jump into doing an incursions run with somebody. I don't normally do incursions because I don't normally have the time. But what I've had to do is abandon an hour of streaming in order to warrant time when it comes to incursions. Because and you think, oh, why don't you stream it, Rich? Well, the reason being I'm trying to create it into a video, so I wouldn't be recording my face, so therefore it would be not as an advantage to what I'm trying to do. So, and I'm trying to put more incursion series into the channel. And yes, it's going to be about King Groot. But look, the point is that we're getting to is the volume of 6-star shards you can pick up from incursions, especially if you do Sector 8, is the following. Right, it's 2,000 6-star shards every 20, I think it's like 30 days actually, 30 days, and then the top zone bonus resets, because funny enough it just recently reset. So that's a good thing as well to kind of like pick up that. It will mean that if you have that for 3 months of rotations, or 3 30-month rotations before you hit the 1st of November, that's 6,000 6-star shards, so that is going to be great. Also do bear in mind that Act 8.1 should have been released by this point. And my hope is that there was about 30,000 6-star shards on offer. Now, that could be a bit more, a bit exaggerated, but at the same time, this comes in a time where Paragon has been the titleage, and that is going to be incredibly important to players to know that there's going to be some element of value to what they're grinding out, to the rewards that they're receiving back. And there should be sufficient shards on the route. I can't remember if there was 10,000 across the entirety of the previous acts, but I want to say with certain shards that you get at the end of it, especially by looking at chapter 1, for example, there's 10k slotted into right there. Maybe the further 10k into it. And as I said, with the current meta shift, like 20,000 6-star shards is logical. 30,000 seems fair under the current scheme of things, especially when we're talking about what should be on the paths, and yes, what should be under the completion rewards, because if we're going forward, we shouldn't be going back in MCOC for rewards metas. There's also going to be some other stuff that is going to be available, and that is that just by that time we'll have the store, the Happy Camper and Regal Resort store. Now, I'm not including the Regal Resort store because it's spent, you have to spend in order to get it, but yes, you would obviously, if you've spent for these particular things, you would get more. The same way with the Black ISO market, there is kind of options available for trading with 6-star shards. Where is it? Somewhere down here. Right there for 6-star shards trading. I just not going to include it because, again, like most people in this game are non-spending, so it just makes a bit more sense to kind of focus in on that. But yeah, you would have a little bit more than the average player if that was the key. It's up to you whether you want to trade in 300 as a spending player. But let's face it, it could be a case if you have loads of 200 signature 5-stars that by the time you trade it in, you've probably ended up getting a max signature crystal at the same time. But that's a once a week thing, so you could be looking to add in 900 per week for 3 months. Say that's 9 plus 12 weeks. So it could be a case that you've added in way over like 3,000 extra 6-star shards, which is, to be honest, doesn't really kind of like help much with the kind of stuff, but every little helps, so it all adds up. In any case, I digress. Happy Camper trade-in. Happy Camper trade-in, from what I gather, is a 7,500 trade-in, or is it 6,750 on that one? I can't remember if there was another one for that. 6,750 trade-in. Oh, and there's also the 5-star shards there for that one, so it could be a lot more if you tried to do that. You could be like upwards of 11,000. So what I'll do is I'll just put like an average of 7,500, but do bear in mind that's going to have to be an optional thing right there. Are you going to be spending your special tokens on that 5k because you want to get another shot at some of these champions, or do you want to guarantee something like units from the super fabulous crystals? And do bear in mind, you don't have to rush to get some of these champions. You could continue saving until the end of the year, which might be advisable, especially because we have Cyber Weekend, so you can grab some shards. Also, the greater gifting crystals from the end of the year, so you don't actually have to. And that's probably like a point to kind of like just kind of get to right now is what I'm putting together is a method of getting on day 1, but there are other things of an option. You could be adding in at least one, maybe depending on where you are in the game, it could be like half a 6-star featured a month, or it's going to be one full, or maybe 2 6-star features a month. So it gives you perspective. Do you want to go all in right now or not now, but all in for November 1st? Or can you wait for, say, like at the end of the new year? I'm personally going for 1st November. I'm in with about, I'm hoping for 10, but it may not happen. But then at the end of the year, I'll probably do a further 10, maybe more, after the greater gifting crystals, and see what the crack is, and see if I kind of like have another shot to get it. So you've got options, you've got availability to choose of where you're going next with it. Do bear in mind as well, when it comes to the store, you can sell some of your dark artifacts in order to get some 6-star shards. It does cost you 32,000, and it does take a bit of a while in order to kind of like earn that, but after 3 months it's pretty much easy to grab at least one extra 2,000 6-star shard. A lot of those, although I do think they should be buffed, but that may be another story for another day. To give you an idea, a bit of perspective of what and how many 6-star shards could be possible, especially for those that are cavalier and upwards, yes, you could be looking to see about 9 or even 10 6-star featured between now and November 1st. Now, we've gone over the different areas as to where that is indeed possible, but at the same time, and as I said a moment ago, and just to repeat for the second time, is you don't have to go all in on the 1st of November. I will be, because I want to give a shot in order to get some of these champions, which I do actually like. I kind of feel like it would be my little treat to myself, especially before things like Cyber Weekend and the kind of the gifting event, which will drop in December. The reason I mention that further is that, you know, I've worked hard on these 6-star featured. I could work a lot harder to kind of like get some more 6-star shards. And I will be doing another opening at the end of the year, or maybe waiting just before the crystal expires to get them. But I kind of feel like I want to end the year on a high, 2022 on a year with a high. So I'm going to do another 6-star featured opening. But my plan is to do an opening on the 1st of November. And with the other things that you get from the Summoner Appreciation Store, the kind of the Summoner Camp Store, the Happy Camper, and also some of the event and side quests, depending, if you go at the start of the month of November, you could see, yes, 9 crystals. If you go towards the latter point of November, it could be 152,000 shards, which will equate 10 crystals. So it's down again to personal preference, where you are, how much you want to save for it. But as I said, I would say it's always good to go in day one, either feel like you're going to get disappointed and then kind of think, okay, well, what do I want to do? I've got them or I've not got them. I'm going for a dupe, I'm not going for a dupe. And at this point in the 1st of November, you can say, right, well, I'm just going to grind now through November, December, January, and February, and that's 4 months to pick up the champion. The same way that this is kind of like a midway point here. We're in August, so we've got full month of August, full month of September, full month of October is 3 months, and then boom, November will hit. So at least you have more months and a gifting event and Cyber Weekend after the crystal launches to make that decision. Do you want to save more? Do I need to grind more arena? I don't need to grind any arena for these 3 months, but I will in the other 4 months because it's colder, I'm home more. These are key factors and variables to consider. And also, just finishing off, just as I said, if you want to, for whatever reason, rotate in some arena grinding and you're able to get a certain amount of points, like millions amount of points, like it could be the case in some basic arenas, all you have to do is put in about 10 mil and you get yourself like a decent position. Normally about 15 mil and you get the champion. Like it could be a case that you pick up 1,000 a week. I mean, like, say for hell's sake, there's 12 weeks, then that's 12,000 shards. If you only want to do 500 worth of grind, and that could be like, again, picking up about 7-8 mil in the basic arena, then it's 6,000 shards. If you are doing a bit more in the featured and as well into the basic, or you know, whatever and however you want to do it, that's 18,000 shards. And do bear in mind that's based on a weekly basis. It doesn't really take into consideration like doing it twice a week, because that's the other thing as well. Like those stats, like people were doing twice as much as that because they're able to kind of grind more extensively. But if you only want to do it once a week, and that encompasses 2 rotations of arena with a low kind of like arena score from it, then yeah, have at it. If it's just a weekend, then hey, you know, that's just based on those 2 arenas, not the 4 arenas you get on a weekly basis. So it's going to be down to you, personal preference on these particular things. Good luck in the grind of getting Gallon and as well getting Quicksilver. It is possible, and we'll probably return back and do another one closer to when these crystals have been and gone and I've done on my opening, and hopefully it's going to be good. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the 1st of November, getting this crystal and also preparing everybody for it. So hopefully this video helped out for those interested of how many shards that you can get. So you don't have to spend in order to get these champions. You can go out and grind them or grind out the shards for the featured 6 stars. But yeah, thanks very much for watching. Check out some other content located on screen right now. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.